To talk more about the situation in Lebanon, we are joined by Jana Yasmin Nakhal from the Central Committee of the Lebanese Communist Party. Thank you for joining us, Jana.
Thank you. Hi.
So, yes, can you first tell us what is the current situation now in the streets of Beirut?
Currently, streets are closed between cities. The biggest demonstrations that took place in the past 5 days took place yesterday with more than 2 million people. The biggest today, just half an hour ago, the two biggest piazzas in downtown Beirut were fully covered with people. Cities around the country, major cities, small cities, towns and villages are either demonstrating or they have their roads closed. Yesterday, more than 65,000 people went to the streets in Tripoli, which is not the capital, in the north of Lebanon. And today, universities are trying to say that classes should be open tomorrow. Today, the Lebanese university and the American universities teachers announced that they're on strike. The Lebanese university's students announced also that they are on strike against their administration's decision. More and more schools are announcing the parents are announcing that they're not going to send their kids, and the school administrations are also announcing they're joining the strike. So up until now, this is the situation. It's growing and growing every day in a very surprising manner.
Indeed, and these are the largest demonstrations that the country has seen in over a decade. So what would you say is the reason that sparked this large response?
So the reason is, we can't say that the reason is anything related to, there's jokes about a bill, a tax that the communication minister was going to have concerning WhatsApp calls and all internet calls of $6. This was the direct, spark. But what actually is happening is that the economic policies that the governments have been implementing since the end of the civil war, the neoliberal policies have been destroying the country's productive sectors and have been impoverishing the people, including the working class, including the refugees, for the past 30 years. So we're talking about neoliberal policies. We're talking about also social policies. These demonstrations are incredibly diverse when it comes to refugees joining, when it comes to specifically women. In this country, women have legally, women have the rights of women are very much to their minimum. Lebanese women cannot give their nationality to their kids. In the case of marriage from a different nationality, one of the most important issue is the civil status law, where Lebanese women have to follow one of the 18 sects. Of course, it's the husband sect. To have a marriage, where we all know how patriarchal religions are. And so for years now, for I think the past 3 years, a beautiful movement of women have grown from inside the different sects, demanding for civil marriage, demanding for reforms within the religious contracts. So a lot of the women who have been suffering from from battering, women who have been suffering from bad situations because of the divorce contracts within the religions are taking to the streets today. So these demands are definitely related to the socio-economic situation, and it's not about the $6 bill.
And Jana, do you see any resolution to this conflict? Because we heard the Prime Minister announcing this economic reform package. Is that enough to stop the protests?
I mean, the package was announced yesterday. It did not stop the protests at all for two main reasons, I think. First of all, it's because the demonstrations or the demonstrators did not ask for reforms. They asked for a very clear resignation of the government. Second of all, it's because of the reforms that were announced are, let's say, they're minor reforms to the actual changes needed. They're not real changes. They're not changes specifically in the economic system that this country is following. We are living under an under a rentier economic system, which is not accepted anymore, which is also clear in these demonstrations, doubling and increasing after the announcement of the package.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Jana, for your time, for explaining to us a very complicated issue happening today in Lebanon. Thank you.